You know, it's a quiet frustration many men carry in silence. The constant waking up at night, that relentless need to get up and make your way to the bathroom, no matter how tired you are, no matter how much you just want to sleep through the night. It's easy to tell yourself this is just part of growing older, something unavoidable, like gray hair or slower mornings. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be this way? What if those frequent nighttime trips aren't just an inevitable nuisance, but a signal your body is sending? A problem that can be gently addressed? I'm Dr. Michael Hanks, and over the years I've walked alongside many men who thought their restless nights were simply a fact of life. I've seen firsthand how small, intentional changes, especially in what you eat, can restore not just your sleep, but your sense of vitality and calm. I remember one gentleman in particular. Let's call him George. George was in his early 60s and came to me with the kind of tiredness that runs deeper than just being sleepy. He told me about how he'd wake up 3, sometimes 4 times a night to urinate, leaving him exhausted during the day and frustrated at the loss of normalcy. He'd stopped going out much because he feared being too tired, too drained. Like many, George had resigned himself to thinking this was his new normal. But as we talked, I learned that George loved a handful of nuts each night as a snack, and that sparked an idea. After some guidance and small dietary tweaks, particularly about which nuts to choose, George began to notice subtle changes. Nights grew quieter, the interruptions less frequent. Weeks later, he walked into my office with a new lightness in his step and a spark of hope. This story isn't unique, but it's a reminder that even in the later chapters of life, there's room for renewal. George's story is one that stays with me, not just because of the relief he found, but because it reflects a deeper truth about how we often overlook the subtle signals our bodies send us. Before he came in, George had been wrestling silently with his nights, convinced that waking several times was simply the way it is. He told me, almost apologetically, how it had crept up on him over the years, the gradual increase in bathroom visits, the way his sleep became fragmented, how that exhaustion started to bleed into every part of his life. His energy waned, his patience frayed, and even his confidence in intimacy began to falter. He felt stuck, caught between frustration and resignation. But what many don't realize is that nocturia, the medical term for this frequent nighttime urination, is not just a symptom to be endured, but a window into deeper physiological changes that happen quietly inside us. Our bodies, especially as we age, navigate a complex landscape of shifting hormones, changing blood flow, and evolving organ function. The bladder and kidneys, often taken for granted, play an intricate dance at night that's influenced by much more than just how much we drink. They respond to signals from our nervous system, our hormonal rhythms, and even the subtle inflammation simmering beneath the surface. In George's case, one factor we focused on was how inflammation in the lower urinary tract can heighten sensitivity, making the bladder less tolerant of even small amounts of urine. Imagine your bladder as a balloon. If the surface is irritated or inflamed, it's like that balloon becomes thinner, more easily stretched and triggered. That sensation can wake you prematurely, compelling those frequent trips to the bathroom. This inflammation can stem from many sources: diet, circulation issues, or hormonal imbalances, all intertwined in ways that might surprise you. The role of nutrition, particularly the inclusion or avoidance of certain nuts, is part of how we can influence this inflammation. Walnuts, for instance, are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which have been shown in studies to reduce inflammatory markers throughout the body. These healthy fats act like a gentle rain, soothing dry soil, calming irritated tissues, and helping to restore balance. For George, adding walnuts to his diet wasn't just about eating something new, it was about inviting a natural, nurturing element into his routine that helped quiet that internal irritation. Moreover, the connection between circulation and bladder function is profound and often overlooked. As we age, blood vessels can lose some of their elasticity and efficiency, which impacts how well blood flows to the kidneys and bladder. Poor circulation can mean less oxygen and nutrients reach these organs, leading to slower healing and a heightened sensitivity. Pistachios and almonds, with their unique blend of nutrients, help improve vascular health by supporting endothelial function. the lining of blood vessels, making them more flexible and better able to respond to your body's needs. This improved blood flow can ease pressure on the bladder, reduce inflammation, and support its capacity to hold urine comfortably overnight. Another layer that George and many men face involves hormonal changes, particularly the decline in testosterone and shifts in other hormones like aldosterone, which regulate how the body handles fluid balance. These hormonal shifts can cause the kidneys to produce more urine at night, increasing urgency. Brazil nuts, rich in selenium, support hormone balance and help modulate this complex system. It's as if these nuts carry tiny, natural messengers that help bring your body's internal conversation back into harmony. Understanding these mechanisms helped George see his condition not as a personal failing or an unavoidable curse of age, but as a biological puzzle with pieces he could influence. This shift in perspective was crucial. When we understand the why, the how, we can engage with our health in a way that feels empowering rather than overwhelming. George's story reminds us that beneath every symptom is a story of connection, a conversation between body, mind, and environment, waiting to be listened to and gently guided. So, as we consider the nuts to include or avoid, it's not just about snacks. It's about embracing foods that speak the language of healing. When you choose the right nuts, you're not just filling your stomach, you're offering your body allies to calm inflammation, boost circulation, and support hormone balance. This is why those small handfuls, those simple choices, carry more weight than they might seem at first glance. And this is only part of the story, because food, while powerful, works best as part of a broader, mindful lifestyle that respects the rhythms of your body and mind. As we continue, we'll explore how these foods fit into daily habits, practical steps you can take, and how to nurture not just your bladder health, but your overall sense of well-being. Just like George, you too can find your way toward quieter nights and brighter days, not through magic, but through knowledge, patience, and care. So why do these nighttime awakenings happen in the first place? The medical term is nocturia, which is just a fancy way of saying frequent nighttime urination. It's a condition that touches many men over 55, but understanding the why behind it can feel like unraveling a mystery. Imagine your bladder as a quiet reservoir, meant to hold and release urine at the right times. At night, when your body should be resting, several changes are supposed to happen. Your kidneys slow their filtering, your bladder relaxes, and your body balances fluids so you don't need to wake. But in many cases, this balance is disrupted. Blood flow might not be as smooth, inflammation may stir quietly, and the signals between your bladder and brain can get out of sync. What many don't realize is that the foods we eat can play a surprising role in this. Certain foods, like some nuts, can either soothe that inflammation and support healthy circulation, or conversely irritate the bladder and exacerbate symptoms. It's not about strict dieting or deprivation. It's about gentle care, choosing allies in your meals that help your body find its rhythm again. Think of it as tending a garden. Some plants nurture the soil and invite life, others might crowd it or drain its nutrients. The right nuts can act like those nurturing plants, quietly supporting your bladder's health and helping your nights feel more peaceful. Let me share with you 5 of these quiet guardians, nuts that can become small but powerful allies in your journey toward better nights. First, walnuts. They're more than just a crunchy snack. They're packed with omega-3 fatty acids, those remarkable fats known for calming inflammation throughout the body. You can almost think of walnuts as a soothing balm for your bladder, helping to reduce the irritation that might be waking you up. I often suggest to my patients to try a small handful in the evening, noticing not just the taste, but the calm they can bring. Then there are almonds, those familiar comforting nuts that many know and love. Rich in magnesium, almonds support muscle relaxation, including the smooth muscles of the bladder and urinary tract. Magnesium is like the conductor of a gentle orchestra, helping muscles relax and reducing the chances of those sudden urges waking you from sleep. Imagine almonds as the quiet peacekeepers in your nightly routine, working softly behind the scenes. Pistachios deserve a place on this list as well. Their subtle, slightly sweet flavor often hides their superpower. They promote good circulation and help balance blood sugar levels. Improved circulation means your kidneys and bladder receive the oxygen and nutrients they need to function smoothly. It's a bit like ensuring the roads to your body's organs are clear and well paved, making every system more efficient and less prone to disruption. Brazil nuts may be lesser known to some, but they hold a mighty secret: selenium. This mineral supports hormone balance, which is crucial as our bodies age and hormone levels shift. Hormonal imbalances can affect bladder function and contribute to nocturia, so introducing Brazil nuts is like bringing in a natural stabilizing force. A couple of these rich nuts a day can make a meaningful difference, acting as guardians of your internal harmony. Finally, cashews round out this group. Their creamy texture and mild flavor make them easy to enjoy, but beyond that, cashews support healthy nerve function. Since nerves control bladder signaling, telling your brain when to go and when to hold on, healthy nerves mean fewer false alarms in the middle of the night. Cashews, in this way, help keep the communication lines open and clear. As we explore these helpful nuts, it's important to remember it's not just about eating them in isolation. It's about a mindful habit, a gentle ritual that respects your body's needs and rhythms. A handful before bed, mixed into a light snack, or blended into your breakfast can become more than just nourishment. It can become a small act of care for yourself, a way to reclaim those peaceful nights. But just as there are nuts that nurture, there are some you'll want to approach with caution. While it may seem surprising, not all nuts are created equal when it comes to bladder health. Some can stir up irritation or inflammation, quietly undermining the progress you're trying to make. It's not about fear or strict restrictions, but about awareness and thoughtful choices. Take, for example, salted peanuts. These are often processed with high levels of sodium, which can encourage your body to hold onto water during the day and push it out at night, increasing the urgency to urinate. Beyond that, peanuts are a common allergen, and even mild sensitivities can subtly irritate the bladder lining. I've had patients tell me they noticed a change just by swapping these out. Other nuts that have been roasted or coated with spices, sugars, or preservatives can also cause trouble. These additives may inflame your bladder or upset your digestive system, leading to discomfort or more frequent bathroom trips. It's a reminder that the simplest, least processed nuts often offer the most benefit. This isn't about perfection or fear of food, it's about tuning into what your body needs. Think of it like steering a ship gently away from rocky shores. Not a harsh turn, but a mindful adjustment to the course that keeps you safe and moving forward. As you begin to consider these choices, remember that food is just one part of the bigger picture. Nighttime urination is influenced by many factors: hydration habits, medications, overall health. But knowing which nuts support your body is a powerful step toward reclaiming your nights. The good news is that these adjustments are simple and accessible, giving you tools you can start using today. In the next part, we'll explore how to make these nuts part of your daily life with practical, easy tips that don't add stress but bring comfort. We'll also talk about how this small change fits into a broader lifestyle approach to help restore your energy and vitality. For now, hold on to the hope that your nights can be quieter and your days brighter, all starting with something as humble and nourishing as a handful of the right nuts. You're on a journey of care and renewal, and every step, no matter how small, is a victory. As we move forward, it's important to see these nuts not just as isolated foods, but as part of a larger rhythm. Small, intentional habits that speak to your body's deeper needs. Incorporating these helpful nuts into your daily routine doesn't have to be complicated or overwhelming. In fact, it's the simple things, done consistently, that create the most profound changes. You might start with a handful of walnuts or almonds as a light evening snack, perhaps alongside a warm cup of herbal tea. The crunch, the gentle warmth, the ritual itself can become a comforting signal to your body that it's time to slow down and prepare for restful sleep. Some men I've worked with find it helpful to mix a small portion of these nuts into their breakfast, sprinkled on oatmeal or stirred into yogurt, adding texture, flavor, and that nourishing touch of magnesium and healthy fats. Others like to carry a small bag of pistachios or Brazil nuts as a convenient, mindful snack during the day, reminding themselves to pause, breathe, and care for their health. The goal is to create moments of connection with your body, moments that say, "I'm here and I'm listening." Alongside these dietary shifts, consider your hydration habits. Drinking plenty of water throughout the day is essential, but try to moderate your intake in the hours before bedtime. This simple adjustment helps reduce the amount of fluid your kidneys process overnight, easing the pressure on your bladder. It's not about restricting or feeling thirsty, but about pacing yourself in a way that honors your body's natural rhythms. Another gentle practice I encourage is journaling. Keep a small notebook nearby and jot down what you eat, when you drink fluids, and how often you wake up at night. Over time, this simple record becomes a map, a guide to understanding your unique patterns and progress. You'll start noticing connections between what you eat, how you feel, and the quality of your sleep. That awareness is empowering. It moves you from feeling like a passive observer to an active participant in your health. And while nuts are an important piece of this puzzle, remember they are part of a broader tapestry of care. Maintaining regular physical activity, something as simple as a daily walk or gentle stretching, helps improve circulation, supports bladder function, and lifts mood. Avoiding caffeine and alcohol in the evening can further soothe the bladder and reduce nighttime awakenings. These lifestyle steps, when combined, form a foundation upon which better nights are built. What gives me the most hope and what I want to leave you with is this. No matter how long you've been waking through the night, no matter how resigned you feel, there is a path forward. Your body holds a remarkable capacity to heal and adapt, even now. Think of it as tending a garden late in the season. While the summer blooms may have passed, the soil can still be nurtured to bring forth new life. With patience and care, the nights can grow quieter, the sleep deeper, and the days more vibrant. Each choice you make, reaching for the right nuts, adjusting your habits, listening closely to your body, is a seed planted. It may take time, and that's okay. Healing is rarely swift, but it is deeply worth it. Your health journey is not about perfection or immediate results. It's about kindness to yourself, consistency, and hope. I invite you to begin with one small change. Perhaps tonight, after watching this video, you'll prepare a modest handful of walnuts or almonds. Feel the texture between your fingers, savor the flavor, and know that this simple act is a quiet commitment to your well-being. Over days and weeks, watch how these moments accumulate, how your body responds, and how your confidence grows. If you find this guidance helpful, I encourage you to share your experiences in the comments below. Your stories can inspire others who may be walking a similar path, and together we build a community of care and understanding. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe for more honest, compassionate advice designed with your journey in mind. Remember, you are not alone in this. Every night you seek rest. Every day you strive for vitality. You are part of a shared story, one of resilience, courage, and renewal. I'm honored to walk alongside you, offering what I can from my years of experience. Trust in the process, be gentle with yourself, and know that better nights are within reach. Thank you for spending this time with me. Here's to quiet nights, strong days, and the gentle power of small, meaningful choices.